2010, Game 4, Partizan Maccabi. Partizan was leading 2-1. If they win, they go to the Final Four. And I went to that game in Belgrade. I got goosebumps just talking about it. Teodosic is my favorite player since always, so I watch him a lot. Spanulis, Niko Zizic, who after play with me in Badalona, he's my favorite teammate of all time.
First weeks in Milano, about to approach the EuroLeague. How are you?
Yeah, very excited to be honest to be here. I've been waiting to be here in the EuroLeague for a long time, so yeah, very excited, happy. The team is doing great, so yeah, happy to be here.
I want to start a little bit from your early beginnings. You grew up in a basketball family.
Yeah.
What were you dreaming as a child? Were you dreaming already about basketball? Was that plan A from the beginning, or?
Yeah. Since I was a baby, my dream was to play basketball. So yeah, basically I grew up with like you said, in a basketball family. My dad is a coach. My mom played. My younger sister was playing till last year. My uncles, everybody was involved in the basketball. We had also a mini basket club, very successful back home. So it was, let's say, from since I was a baby, that was the goal to be a professional basketball player at the highest level.
And when you were 14-year-old, you moved to Spain, joining Badalona.
Yes.
Something that maybe a lot of people take for granted is the Spanish system, especially with young guys.
Yeah.
For example, us in Italy, we have Matteo Spagnolo went at 13. He went to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So, if you can find some details about that, what do you think is the magic of Spanish basketball that involves so many young players coming from all over Europe?
Yeah, I mean I was kind of surprised to be honest at first, because I was coming from Macedonia, Balkan, let's say ex-Yugoslavia, and I used to play pick and roll since I was like 7, 6. So that was my game. I learned that since I was very young. We also, when I was 11, 12, we played zone back home, so it was everything to win. And when I arrived in Spain, it was like no pick and roll, only one-on-one, spacing, running. So basically, it added to my part of the game, like to be creative, to play without the ball, to run more, to be a better one-on-one player. So basically, that's it. They just play freely with spacing, one-on-one. They just read off each other. It's one of the things it's important for a young player, for sure.
And growing up as a basketball player in Badalona, especially as a guard, you kind of have that burden of Ricky Rubio, you know? Of course, I mean...
I didn't feel it, to be honest.
But like in the...
No, for sure it's an idol, Ricky, it's an idol in Badalona. For sure you hear his name come up, but I was in my own path and to have my own...
To shape yourself as a 2/1, more a combo with playmaker duties, of course. Did you take something off his skill set of Ricky Rubio or other point guard skill set?
Yeah, I mean, I watch basketball 24/7. I'm addicted to it, so of course I watch. Teodosic is my favorite player since always, so I watch him a lot. Spanulis, Niko Zizic, who after play with me in Badalona, he's my favorite teammate of all time. I learned so much from him, so basically I watch all the great point guards. Of course I watch also Ricky. They have this Ricky layup that from the dribble you go for a second rim. We did that a lot in individual practice in Badalona, so yeah, he has the print left there in Badalona. So, yeah.
And I remember reading the interview you gave to the club where you said I've been watching basketball since I was very young, like 6, 7-year-old. So basically you saw all Milos Teodosic career in the EuroLeague up until this day.
Yeah.
If there's a particular memory that made you fall in love with how he plays the game, one play.
It wasn't the EuroLeague game, to be honest. It was the World Cup, I think 2010, when he scored the buzzer beater to win against Spain from 10 meters. That was probably, I will choose that.
Okay. And coming back to Badalona, you shared the locker room with Arturs Zagars, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Very talented, very unlucky with injuries as well, but he's gonna debut in the EuroLeague too, with Fenerbahce coming off the bench probably. how do you see him, and how do you describe him as a player?
I mean, I'm so happy for him, to be honest, because he had, like you said, like a difficult path to be here, because he had a lot of injuries, especially when he was also with me in Badalona. He couldn't go, like, because of the injuries. So that's my boy, that's my guy. Like, we had a very close relationship when we were in Badalona. And yeah, I'm very excited to watch him like grow now in a EuroLeague player, because he deserves to be here. He's a very talented player. Yeah.
And after your first 2 seasons in the Eurocup with Badalona, you decided to keep up in the competition with Valencia.
I mean, when I signed, they were still had to play EuroLeague. So
EuroLeague.
I was like, yeah, I was expecting to be in EuroLeague with Valencia my first year, but circumstances happened. It ended up playing in Eurocup.
So the plan was to play in the EuroLeague. And did you decide to, like, you had, if you want to say, did you have any other opportunities on the table EuroLeague wise, or you decided to stay in Spain for the system?
This was the, let's say, the most obvious one, because when you grew up in Spain like a young kid, like the path is really made. They had a lot of examples. You go from Badalona, maybe Valencia, Baskonia, and then if you play successful there, you go to the big teams, Madrid or Barca. So that was my, let's say, idea. But God works in mysterious ways, and my path went through Russia, so I'm very grateful for it, and it worked out amazing.
Talking about Russia, how did the move happen? Because, I mean, a lot of not only fans, but also people working in media and behind the scenes were probably expecting you, to move up the ranks in the EuroLeague, considering your talent. How did the move went? Like, did you have opportunities to play in the EuroLeague and you decided to go to the VTB anyways? Tell me a little bit more about that.
I mean, the first year in Valencia, it was a complicated one. Not a lot of people know, but it's okay. It's not an excuse or something, but it was a year full of injuries, a lot of sicknesses, even a bad sickness that kept me out for like 2 months out of the court. I lost like 6 kilos, and then like a team, like we didn't have a great season, successful season. And when the season ended, they decided to change the coach. Going home, everything was good. I had 3 more years in the contract. I was there like for the future point guard. Going home everything was fine. And then unexpected phone call from the new coach at that time, Mumbrou, telling me that I'm not part of his plans. And then we were waiting with my agent, with Mishko, to see what's the best decision, and the best decision was to go and play, not just be a part of the team. Play 30 minutes, be a leader, be the scorer, be the real me. So I was missing that a lot, because in Spain, I think they don't, how it 12-player rotation, limited minutes. Some games you play, some games you don't. So I felt I didn't reach my full potential. And going to Russia with Coach Perasovic, I knew deep down it's going to be great for my career, and it ended up being, because he let me play, he let me be the real me. He just cared about winning, and that was the most important for me.
Some days ago, I had an interview with Thomas Hortel, and I asked him the same question, because of course with the whole situation with the war and stuff like that, from this side of Europe, we couldn't really see what was happening. Of course, we were keeping it up, but we couldn't really see. And I was from the other side, from you guys internally. I mean, how the situation was more as like a weekly basis on playing basketball.
I mean, it was very safe for those reasons, but it was fun for me. I really enjoyed it, because also the games were not like Saturday. We only play VTB. That's one of the reasons that, okay, less games a little bit, but also I had my baby born, so I had a lot of time home. That was great for me, and it was good. Like, life was good. That, like I said, it wasn't weekends. The games, they were mixing it up, so they kept it like you sometimes you play every 3 days, sometimes you play every 5 days, sometimes you wait a little bit longer. So it was a great league, a lot of talented players. The top 4, like with us, UNICS, CS, Kazan, and Loco, were amazing level, to be honest. And they deserve to be in EuroLeague. Those teams, the quality of the talent we had and they had, it's EuroLeague level. So I'm very fortunate to be part to won the VTB and then to be like the last year the regular season MVP. It's a thing that I'm proud of. Yeah.
And you talked about the talent there in the league. What were the main names or players that you instantly think of that you say, why is this guy not in the EuroLeague?
Yeah, I mean, first that come to mind is Jalen Reynolds. He played with me, unbelievable talent, physique, everything. He has to be everything. Like you said, Thomas Hurtel was there. Dubi, even Dubljevic was last year there. So much. Mbaye, CSKA, it's a EuroLeague level player for me. Now Alexa is there, so it's a league full of talent for sure.
And I want to move a little bit to the national team.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, you haven't shared the court yet with TJ Shorts.
No. Shared on pre-season on a friendly game, but then I didn't play the tournament.
Not official game.
Yes.
So, what do you think of him as a player, and what do you think watching the games when he was playing for the national team? What do you think he brings to the national team, and also what are you expecting from his first season in the EuroLeague? Because he kept on, exceeding expectation in the BCL. Then EuroCup, now EuroLeague. As a small size guard, it's difficult, but
doesn't matter. I mean, he's like you said, he won everything first in the Champions League. Now last year EuroCup, and now I think he has the chance to prove in EuroLeague. I think he deserved this chance because he really, like the last 2-3 years, he played on an amazing level. And I'm excited to see him in EuroLeague, and for national team, because like you said, like we didn't play with each other, he carried the team to important victories. So yeah, I'm glad to have him.
I want to discuss a little bit your playing type, because Milano has had a lack of consistency in the point guard position. You in your career have played as a combo, as a playmaker, as a two. How do you see yourself? If you could describe yourself and what you want to bring to this team, what would you say?
I mean, I see myself more as a playmaker, to be honest, but PG to create for everybody, to make the life easier, but also I see myself as a scorer, a guy who can score and score a lot of points. So I think that's one of the strengths in my game, that I can be able to play off both a little bit. When we need to create, I can create, and when we need to get a bucket, I can get a bucket. So I think that's one of the things that I've tried to improve and try to be consistent during my career, is to be able to play both ways, not just to be the point guard who passes the ball, but to be the guy who can score and pass the ball and create. That's I think one of my biggest strengths.
As you said, there are games in which you can say, I want to get a bucket, I will get a bucket. Multiple plus 35 points game in your career. Have you ever had a game, a particular encounter in which you said, okay, this is my night? You kind of felt it.
Yeah, I mean, last year I had a 40-point game against CSKA. It was the last game of the regular season, and whoever won that game would be finished first in the regular season. So that was important for us. It was the first time in history, actually, that UNICS finished first in the regular season. So it was a big game for us. I remember Marcos Knight, a key player for us, was out. I think Dima Kulagin, also a key player for us, was out. So they were the other two, let's say, ball handlers, guys who can go. And I knew that if we win today, I had to get busy. So even on the warm-ups, I felt like today is gonna be dangerous. So it ended up being, and we ended up winning the game. Yeah.
And you're approaching your first EuroLeague season, as we said, and there's no real doubt about your offensive skill set. While of course, as a lot of other players, the defense is not your main strength, let's say like that. But now you have a defensive specialist in the head coach like Ettore Messina. Have you already discussed how you could boost your defensive capabilities?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you said, it's not one of my biggest strengths to be a defensive player, but I think I'm a good team defender. Like I know where to help, when to not. I read the spaces. I think I am doing a good job of being that. So yeah, like you said, I'm just trying to, with his guidance, to see the videos, see where I can improve, in which situation I can improve. So I think also that's one of the goals of the season. Prove I can be a solid, let's say, not great, but like solid defender. That's one of the goals.
What's the most unforgettable memory that you have of the EuroLeague?
I remember I was 2010, game 4, Partizan Maccabi. Partizan was leading 2-1. If they win, they go to the Final Four. And I went to that game in Belgrade. I got goosebumps just talking about it. It was the most unbelievable game ever in my life.
So you're marking the calendar for when you guys play in Stark.
Yeah, for sure. Belgrade is it's gonna be crazy. I can't wait.